Okay, so our next speaker is Kendyl Young. Some of you know Kendyl already, and Kendyl runs a boutique brokerage in Glendale, California. And you know, earlier we were talking about the challenges, and Seth was speaking to this a little bit about your brand as an individual and how that scales. And the challenge, many of you either have teams or brokerages in this room, or you're thinking about expanding and growing. And Kendall's gonna speak about how she's handled that in her brokerage.
What am I talking about?
If you're fine, you know, whatever you want to.
Hi there. Following up on that heavy topic is me. For the record, I'm not white. Well, actually, I'm Chinese, but skin only. So I'm gonna be, I figured I gotta wake you all up because everybody's falling asleep from the cookie, you know, the sugar low. It's coming in. So I'm going to be talking about connecting the community with the brand. So to give you a little bit of background, I am a, 28 and some year veteran. I spent 24 years with a big box brokerage, big box brokerage. Spent a couple of years with a boutique high-end brokerage, and then left to start my own. And one of the reasons I started my own because starting a brokerage is arguably a fool's errand, really. I make a lot more money as a real estate agent, I tell you. And who wants to actually manage real estate agents? It's like herding cats. I mean, you guys, I'm afraid of all of you people. All of you people I'm afraid of. So I went and started a brokerage, which I said I would never, ever do. And the reason I wanted to do that is I wanted to discover, can I build a brand that is relevant? Can I build a brand that actually serves the consumer and brings value to the consumer at a brand level? Because I could do that as a real estate agent. We all do that. All of you people are individual brands, whether you're doing it intentionally or not, right? Ooh, do I have a clicker? Ooh, does it work? Okay, we'll see. Anyway, all of you are an individual brand because you're people. And your people are in community, and you mean something to the people in your community, so therefore you are a brand. But can we do that at a brokerage level? Can we do that with something that is not me? Because I'm deathly afraid of being a celebrity or a human being that has a celebrity status. I would just like to be Kendyl, and I'd like the brand to speak for itself. So, does the brand serve the community that you're in? So in order to do that, we have to talk about what a brand is or is not. And I think a lot of you in this room know this, but indulge me. I went through it and I made the slides and I can't get rid of it. So a brand is not, well, you know, a brand is not a logo, right? It's not a color, right? It is not even a really cool, oh, there we go. Is it the invisible clicker thing? Or am I doing it? Okay, anyway, all right. And it is not a super cool catchphrase, although I really like my cool catchphrase because it's cool people, cool homes. What a brand is a promise, right? The brand is a promise. Now you said that Seth said that a brand is reputation. And I think reputation is a promise as well, because what is a promise? A promise is what you expect to get if you reach out if you reach out to do business with that company, right? What are you going to get? What is it going to be like? What is it going to feel like? How's it going to play out? How much is it going to cost? How much hassle is it going to be? It's a promise, right? And so, a promise, what is a promise? There's two parts to a promise. The first part is the promise maker. Who is making the promise? And the second part is the promise keeper, a promise receiver. Who is receiving the promise, right? So the promise maker is the brand. The promise receiver is who's going to receive that promise, who's going to be doing the business. Who are you trying to attract? And we've been talking a lot about being authentic and doing business with the people we want to do business with, right? And those are our promise receivers. So this is like freaking me out. All right. Here is an example of brands, and we all know these. In fact, all of these have been mentioned from stage so far today. We know what it's going to be like when we do business with Apple. We're going to have really cool gadgets, we're going to look cool, and they're going to work really, really well. Tesla, we know, or at least we suspect, that it would be awesome to drive a Tesla car, right? I suspect. I'm actually not going to spend the money for that thing. But if I had one, I would be in a cool, cool car, and I'd be saving the environment. And then Nordstrom's, we know what their promise is. You're going to have great fashion. I'm going to be treated like a queen when I go inside that store, even on Black Friday. And if I don't like what it is that I saw, like, for example, the ladies' shoes that I bought for an Inman event that were really not very comfortable, I took them back. Bought a really cool backpack. It was awesome because I could do business with Nordstrom's and I know what their promise is. Their promise is my satisfaction, my happiness. I am the center of the universe. I love that. And who are they making the promise to? Because these are the brands, they're the promise maker. Who are they making the promise to? They're making the promise to me, the consumer. I like that. I like people making promises to me because, I'm a princess. It's awesome. All right. So that's cool. We all understand that. We all understand what consumer brands are. We do business with these brands. But what does brand look like in the real estate industry? Now, I told you I've been doing this for 30 years. Go ahead and do the calculations. Yes, I'm that old. I'm chemically enhanced. Don't let this hair fool you. Back in the day when I first started, and I am a second-generation Coldwell Banker agent, back in the day, brands meant something different in the real estate industry than they do today. So let's talk about it. Who are the promise makers? Who are the brands in the industry? There we go. The brands in the industry, we know these guys, Coldwell Banker, KW, Remax, ERA, Century 21. We know these brands, right? They are the promise makers. And they're making a great promise. They're making a promise that they have awesome offices, great staff, wonderful tools, great advertising, right? But who are they making the promise to? Because there's two parts of a promise maker and the promise receiver. Who's the promise, who's going to be receiving the promise? Agent. Okay, well, all right, technically he told you he wasn't an agent, he's a broker, but the agent. That's who they're making the promise to. It used to be many decades ago that the big brands were making a promise to the consumer. But today, in our industry today, they're making a promise to you guys, the agents. They're making a promise you're going to have great training, great tools, great tech. They're going to protect you in a legal situation. They're going to have great staff to take care of your needs. They're going to have lead generation. These are the promises they're making to you, the agent. So who's making promises to the consumer? Well, in our industry today, it is left up to the agent at this point. For the most part, that's what the big brands are saying. We're going to hire the best, we hope. We're going to hire the best, and we're going to give them great tools to run their business so that they can make great promises to their consumer and do business with the consumer. And the idea is that, next slide, please, clicker. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Is it the center button? Oh, it's the arrow button. Well, maybe I was just doing the wrong arrow. Anyway, all right. So, remember that movie with Adam Sandler and he had the little clicker thing? Yeah, I want that. Anyway, so what they're essentially saying is that people care about people. They're not really caring about a brand. But I just showed you. We do care about brands. We do business with Apple. We do business with Nordstrom's. We do business with Tesla. They care about brands, because the brand means something to him. And I think that it's a fallacy that in our real estate industry, we can only care about people. I think we can care about a brand. I think a brand can be relevant. So how do we do that? Well, in my opinion, there are 3 steps to a promise, right? 3 steps. First step, who are you? Right? Who are you? You need to know who you are because you're the promise maker. You can't make a promise if you don't know who you are. That's what pretty much everything up to this point has been talking about, figuring out who you are, but I'll give you tools on how to do that. Number 1. Number 2, why should anyone care about who you are? Which sounds funny, but golly gee, if nobody's going to care about you, why should you even be in business? You're not doing it for your entertainment, right? And then the third one is, who are you serving? Who are you making the promise to? What do you know about them? So those are 3 steps to making a promise, which, as we say, is brand. So I started my own brokerage about 2.5 years ago, and this book dropped on my head almost exactly the same time that I started figuring out what to do about my brokerage. What they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will come. That's what this book was, and it totally rocked my world. Difference by Bernadette Jiwa. Now, she said something that resonated with my soul so deeply that it took me months and months and months to recover. And what she said was, no one cares if you're different, right? That's what we do in this industry. We have more agents, we have more market share, we sell more, we have more luxury, we have better list price to sale price ratio, we guaranteed sold, right? in 30 days. We talk about how we're different, but that's not what people care about. What they care about is how do you make a difference? How do you make a difference in their lives? How do you make a difference in their community? How do you make a difference in this world? Or as Simon Sinek says, people don't care what you sell. They care about why you sell it. Right now, as people, we do this. As human beings, we do this. We have deeply held beliefs. We're human beings. We're authentic. Amy Curtis showed us how to be authentic in the most amazing and awesome way. Right? Yeah, right? I love Amy. I really do. I'm embarrassing the shit out of you right now. I love you. And that's why we love her, and that's why we love people who are completely vulnerable and authentic. But how do we do that as a brand? So in order to do that, Bernadette gives us a little map. And I'm not going to go through this in great detail, but this is my map that I made for my company. And I'll email it to you, anybody who wants to, I'll tell you where to email it. But at first it talks about principles. And she says, first you have to figure out, what is the truth about you? What is the truth about the industry that you serve? And what is the truth about the people that you want to serve? And then it gets a little bit more personal. And it talks about purpose. Why do you exist? Right? Because it can't be for your entertainment. There has to be a reason that you're there. The people, who is this for? And what do they care about? These are the promised receivers. What do they care about? Who are they? Personal. How can we change how these people feel about the industry? And how can we help them to lead better lives? Because remember, we're talking about difference. We're not talking about features here, right? Then perception. What do these people believe? Think about it. These people that you want to attract, these people that you want to do business with, these people who are your tribe, what do they believe, and what would you have them believe about you? And then the last thing is your product or your service, which is what do people really want and need? Right, you're sitting there, you're like, well, they want to buy a house, they want to sell the house. No, they don't. They want a better life. There's something that's happening in their life. There's some transition. There's some stress. There's some change, and change is always stressful. They need a solution to their pain. They don't need a house, okay? So think about that solution. Think about that pain. What is it that they need, and how are you going to create that value for them? So really, really deep questions. These questions took me weeks to work through, but at least I had a map to go through because we've been hearing from stage this whole time, right? Be authentic, know who you're talking to, know who you are. Well, shoot, I needed a map. And this was it. But this is what I actually came up to. These are the 4 things that I decided was the Diggs promise after I went through this entire thing. First of all, great design. And I don't mean a great logo, although I have a really great logo. I mean, it's really great. And I'll show it to you in a minute. But I mean designing everything that goes into my business from the first moment that somebody is aware that Diggs, that's my company, by the way, in case you didn't know, that Diggs exists, straight through the entire transaction. Everything is designed for a specific purpose, for a specific person to solve a specific pain or need, right? So it's great design, kick-ass expertise. That means that everything that touches them, not just me, not just my agents, not just my staff, but all of the vendors that I decide to use, they've got to be kick-ass expertise. And by the way, that does not mean the person who's going to give me a referral fee, right? Everything that touches, thank you. Can I get an amen? The other thing is I expect to earn their trust over time. I do not expect them to fill out a lead gen form and then we're going to get together, get to bed, and have sex on the first date. It's not going to happen. They need to get to know me. They need to get to know us. And I'll explain to you a little bit about how I do this, but earning trust over time is part of my brand promise. And then the last one, have fun. Right? I don't take myself very seriously. I take my craft of real estate very, very seriously. Myself, not so much. So having fun is part of our brand promise, and that plays out in every single thing that we do because this is how I'm developing the relationship with my community. Because remember, I went through the brand map. I know who my community is. I know what they want, or at least I know what the people I want to serve want, and I'm figuring out how to deliver it with my promise. So, great design. This is my logo. There's a reason why the letters don't go all the way to the top. When I first came out, they said, couldn't you afford all of the letter? It's like, no, I'm bootstrapping this. I couldn't. No, the reason why the letters don't go all the way to the top is that the people that I decided were my tribe were people who are still forming themselves. They're still arriving. They're still striving. They're still becoming. And so is my logo, because that's who we represent. This is my office. I know it's cool, isn't it? I love my office. God, it's so cool. This is like Kendyl's den. And the reason that it looks the way it does, there's no walls, there's no desk, there's no conference room with glass walls to hem you in so that you feel like you're forced to make a decision of some sort. This feels like a place where you can sit down and collaborate with your real estate agent and solve your life's problems. It could be at the table, because we're working on paperwork, or it could be in my living room here at the top, here over on the side, where most of the furniture came from my childhood home. So it means something. It's great design. It is designed to appeal to the people that I want to appeal to in the lifestyle that they are used to. Kick-ass expertise. My Digs team. You don't get to be on my team unless you're awesome. And I only take brand new agents, by the way, because I don't want to retrain people who have already got bad habits. But you have to be smart. You have to be passionate. You have to be more interested in being the most awesome human being you can be rather than the most rich human being that you can be. Somebody wants to talk to me about how many hundreds of thousands of dollars they can do while having complete freedom. They don't get to be on my team. Social media, we expertise because we don't talk in social media about all the houses that we sold or the open houses. And we do open houses, but we do it in our way. We don't talk about all our market share. We don't talk about our latest conquest. What we talk about is consumer empowerment articles. How do you do this? FAQs, how we can share about the community. Michael Thorne will love this. We're always writing articles about businesses, communities. The latest hike I was on, I get to live in Los Angeles where there's amazing hiking. It's awesome. But that is our social media. And then our presentations, my listing presentation, my buyer presentation, is not an unending litany of all of the stupid things that we do to market your house. No, it is giving them a primer of how you market a house and how you get top dollar, the strategy behind it and why it works. I'm going to educate them because my idea is they might not choose me because I'm a mouthy kind of a gal, and maybe they want somebody who's a little nicer than I am, but I have given them what they need to know in order to make good decisions, even if they don't work with me. So it's great expertise. Then we can marry great design and great expertise with something I call the welcome box. Now, who here has ever opened up an Apple product box? Anybody? Oh, isn't the experience legendary? Oh, it's nothing better than an unopened Apple box. So I thought, well, why can't I do that for my business? Because they're spending a lot of money with me. So you sign a listing contract with me, you sign a buyer broker agreement with me, what we deliver on your doorstep as soon as possible and practical is the welcome box. Welcome box is this lovely custom printed box. On the top it says, welcome to Digs, we've got your back. You open up the box and inside are 2 logo mugs, a couple of bags of Tazo Tranquility tea, right? Because you're gonna need it. If I could have put opium in there, I would have done that, but. Wait, can we edit that out? Okay, and also 2 freshly baked muffins from a local bakery and a note card that's handwritten by me, and it says, welcome to Digs. The journey ahead is a big one. I can't promise that everything is gonna be perfect, but I can promise that everything will be better because we're by your side. We have your back. Welcome to Digs. About that. Just think about that. Think about how first of all, is the pleasure of a gift unexpected. You expect to get a gift after you do the listing because you're trying to win the listing, whatever. Listing agents have been doing this forever. But a gift after the contract is signed, that's unexpected. To have something beautifully designed, that's unexpected. An acknowledgement of how they are probably feeling right at that moment, that's expertise. So great design, great expertise. Earning trust over time, we do this in a lot of different ways, eyes on others. So our Facebook group is not about, real estate deals and, quiet sales are a big deal in LA. It's none of that stuff. It's all about giving local merchants a place to safely talk about their businesses, because oftentimes advertisements for local businesses are not welcome on community groups, but we all know that groups is where the engagement is. So I created a Facebook group for that. We have terrific terrific engagement on that within the community, serving the local community with nonprofit events and fundraisers, and then having an artist program. You saw my office, right? It's actually designed to look like an art gallery. I designed it right in there. So we have these art shows with local artists, preferably people who are not professional artists. We sponsor a reception for them, so they invite all of their friends and family, and since they're local, they're all people in my area. And then we have this great show, and any art that we sell during that show, the proceeds that Diggs would get as the art gallery, which is 30%, is donated to a local nonprofit of the artist's choice. So we're giving back. We're having there. We're earning people's trust before they ever need to do a real estate deal. And then the last one is we give it away. All the money that we get for these fundraisers, all of our expertise. We have something called the Diggs Vendors List. You can go to diggsvendors.com, and that is all of the vendors that we like to use. Now, there's lots of concierges out there, but we don't get any referral fees. These are just people that we use. Those Facebook groups, was it Seth that was talking about that? We take those things, we stick those into our vendors list, and we say, look, these are the people we use, or people have been recommended by our community. And we give that away. We talk about it whenever we're posting on Facebook, we just give it away, because we think giving away the expertise is how you create trust over time. And the last one is have fun. Now, when I talk about have fun, I don't mean have fun like we go out as a team and we go out to dim sum, which I did. I did not make them eat chicken feet because I'm really nice. But we did go out to dim sum. We go out to ramen noodles. We have foot massages. And I don't mean like have fun like we have, events like the Easter egg thing or what have you. We do that at Diggs. It's really cool. We bring our tribe together. I took them all out for the movie for the Pirates of Caribbean movie, I think, and I made everybody dress up like a pirate. That was super cool, right? That's a lot of fun. But I don't really mean that, although I do mean that. I mean that we have fun as authentic human beings. So, those Facebook posts promoting an open house, this is how we do it. We're crazy. We are authentic human beings, and we're not afraid to show our crazy to everyone. Or here's something, I ripped this one off from the Divas. They said I could say that. I was going to take complete credit for myself, but then, Chavi's taller than I am, so anyway. Oh, you can't hear it. Bummer. Well, this is us. You could smell that she's sweet. We definitely do not take ourselves seriously here at Diggs. So we're here at Diggs Talk. Just want to talk about what is up in our business this week. Yes, you are cute, Sue. Very, very cute.
She did that.
Yeah, right. Okay, so who's got an open house on Saturday?
Oakendale.
Sue, where are you going to be on Saturday?
Oakendale.
Oakendale, tell us about it. What's great about Oakendale? So this is something we do every week. My girls get together. It's a selfie like this, although I'm going to try that little DJI Osmo thing. We just selfie it. We talk about what's going on within our community. We talk about what's going on with our business. And it's just an update. It's 45 seconds, 2 minutes at best. And my girls are, you can see, they're chuckleheads just like me. And we have a great deal of fun with that. We don't take ourselves seriously. And people love us because of that. They think we're fun, and well, we are. And who wants to go through a stressful time period with someone who's not fun? So that's who we are. That's Diggs. If you would like a copy of my difference map, just send me an email, Kendyl@GlendaleDiggs, Diggs. If you want to know what Diggs stands for, it's cool Diggs, man.
Oops, we're on? There we go. So I know we have some brands and teams in the room. Questions?
Would you say again what's on your handwritten note?
Yeah, I'm kind of proud of that one. Welcome to Diggs. The journey ahead is a big one. I can't promise that everything is going to be perfect, but I can promise that everything will be better because we're by your side. We've got your back. Welcome to Diggs.